Today on the bench, we have the weirdest guitar. We have a guitar that was sent to us, and we're gonna go over it. So here's what it is. There's a new guitar company called RJ Guitars. And so you guys know what guitar to look for. This is the Skycaster by RJ Guitars, and it has an interesting hang tag here that says RJ Basic Electrics, upsize your budget meal guitar, and then also mention it comes with a really thin gig bag, a cable, and a strap. Now, the crazy part about this guitar is the specs and then the price. This is a maple neck with a maple fretboard, a bone nut. You have some basic gear tuners, so nothing special there, but nice bone nut. Stainless steel frets. You have a Palomino body. If you don't know what Palomino is, it's super light, a little lighter than basswood, a little harder than balsa. And before you get too hung up on that, just understand that companies like Sir even use Palomino for guitars, and J&L guitars as well, USA. You have a basic six saddle tremolo system, some ceramic pickups, and an interesting onset of colors, including this one, which is a really cool color. It's kind of purple, kind of gray. Nice little silver logo right there. Look at that, silver logo in sitting on top. That's really cool. Other than that, it's a pretty basic, Squire-esque Stratocaster. It's made in China, and it is $99. Obviously, the question is, why? There's a plethora of $99 guitars. This just proves that at this point, so many companies out there, especially these new brands, are making $99 guitars, $59 guitars, $159 guitars, especially on Amazon, that now the game has to go crazier. So they only have one choice. They can either keep dropping the price, or they can add a couple things to make you kind of enticed to go that route. So what we want to talk about is some of the quality things on this. The first thing that kind of stuck out to me was the fretboard itself, and here's why. It seemed rather flat. So I want to check this out, if you don't mind. And I thought it was 12. It's not 12. 14, is that the answer? Oh, pretty close. I'm gonna go with close to a 20-inch radius fretboard, so very flat fretboard. That's the first thing I noticed right away when I picked it up. The neck carve is definitely a C-shape carve, very thin, very 60s era neck. We'll get the specifications on that in a second. Let's just get into frets, okay? So, because this is really what I want to know. We've tuned it up. Let's go ahead and check all the frets for high frets. There was no dead spots or high frets, but I was kind of holding this back. So as you know, we always do the sock test. We do the sock test. What it is we take a nylon sock and we see if we can demonstrate any sharp frets or issues. The reason we do this is because it's easier to show you that than to just explain how it feels. This is gonna be bad. Let me show you how bad it is. I just basically touched this guitar. So let's do this again. Okay, gonna drop that one. Let's get another one. This time I have to make sure not to touch the guitar in any way until I wanted to do this to show you. Of course I just say that, but I'm touching the guitar. Okay, ready? Here we go. I hope medical gets ready. Here we go. And there you go. Look at that. So it is trashed. This is the second worst fret sprout I've ever seen on a guitar on this channel. The first being to a very inexpensive Kramer guitar that was sent to us by Sweetwater. This, let's do the other side. Here we go. Okay, and as you can see, again, I mean, it's done. So out of a 1 to 5, 5 being great, that was a 0. That was absolutely horrible. These need to be corrected. Also, when we do the nylon sock test, we do the bridge. This is also gonna fail because the screws are sticking out really badly from the bridge. Let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, it's catching right there. So they poke out, and that is unfortunate. Now, there's 2 fixes in this particular guitar's case. We can shim the neck, which will change the angle, and then raise the saddles up, and you might have those go flush with the saddles, and it'll play great. And that might not work. That's the part of, when you're doing guitar work, you take your best guess at the situation. I think that one would probably be the easiest way to go. But let's say you don't want to do that, or that doesn't work. Then you can replace these. I've talked about monsterbolts.com. You can go get there and get new grub screws and replace them, or you can pull these out and use a Dremel to cut them down and then polish the end a little bit and stick them back in if that bugs you. So the first issue I have with the guitar is this. Obviously a $99 guitar, you're thinking beginners, right? You got a friend, you got a family, you got a child, they want to get into guitar. This is a great guitar because it's super light. We'll get into that in a second. And price, great, $100. So obviously, like we do this, the whole purpose of this channel is to show you how to do things like take care of the fret sprout. I have a video on that. I will put it in the link down below. But we're talking about someone who's not going to do the work themselves. This automatically is already going to cost you what this guitar costs just to get this guitar set up playable, these fret ends and stuff. They have definitely wanted to make sure that they were level, because these frets, I could tell, are a lot lower than where they start out, because I'm sure somebody went over this thing many times to level them and then crown them. So that's a lot of man hours into that. What I'm doing now is I'm going to pop out the nut. They claim it's a bone nut. Obviously, when guitars are this inexpensive and it's a new company, which means we don't know how reputable they are. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is look at this. So you're going to ask the question, how can you tell if it's a bone nut? Well, there's a couple things you can do. First of all, you can look at it. Bone nuts tend to not be very white. This is not very white. It's got a little bit of a yellow. Just think of it like your teeth, man. Your teeth, you can whiten them all day long. But think about this. When teeth are super white, they look fake, right? Bone, if you're looking at a nut and it's super white, it's going to look fake because it is. This has definitely got a yellow hue to it. It's definitely got grain in it, which is another thing bone will have. It won't be totally smooth. And you can also listen to it. And I can tell you from those three tests, just looking at the grain in the nut, looking at the color, and this is probably the grossest thing, but I'm sorry, it's just true. If I really want to know, I can just bite it. It is bone. I'm sorry, it's just an easy thing like that. If you're used to, I've done it for 20 years now. If I put it and I bite on it, I can tell if it's graphite, I can tell if it's metal, I can tell if it's plastic. You can just tell when you hit your teeth. This bone feels like teeth on teeth. So this is a bone nut. So kudos to them, and it's very well done, I should point out. It was not a single drop of glue in it. I would actually recommend putting a dot of Type-On glue in there just to hold it in place, but it's not necessary. What we really want to know now is the measurements. That's going to help you know what kind of, what to expect if you touch this neck and play it. So let's go and look at that. So we have the nut at 1.610 or 40.91 millimeters. At the 12th fret, we're sitting at 51.09 millimeters wide, or 2.011, probably suited for smaller hands, smaller players, younger players. The thickness of the neck at the 1st fret is 0.0806, or 20.41 millimeters, or 48 millimeters. So again, 20.48 millimeters, not even 21 millimeters. That's a pretty good thin neck. Let's go to the 12th fret. 12th fret is 23.29 millimeters, or 0.917. So again, this is a very small neck. So, it's got a cool pastel kind of color. It's got a smaller neck. We have a single action truss rod right there, and the neck feels pretty straight. That's one thing that's great about maple. It's pretty hard. It can hit a ball, and it can make a neck pretty strong and not have to worry about it. The back plate is not recessed, as we wouldn't expect it to be. The finish on the color and the finish of the paint looks very good for a $99 guitar. And the weight is 6.13 pounds. That's right, this is 6 pounds. So I told you it was light. I mean, it feels like a Parker Fly. It feels like nothing. So pretty cool. Let's go ahead and look at the electronics. First thing you want to notice is that they actually put shielding paint inside the cavity, and there's shielding foil here around where the electronics come in contact We have two 250K mini potentiometers. There's no brands designated that I can see. You have a 250K volume potentiometer, and then you have a 5-way circuit board switch with 3 single coil pickups with a ceramic magnet glued to the bottom. And you usually hear the word ceramic and it always sounds bad. There's not really an issue with ceramic magnets, so you know. There's different kinds of ceramic magnets, but obviously this is one of the most at least expensive ways that you can make a single coil pickup. A set of these 3 pickups on Amazon to a comparable brand, you could probably buy these 3 for $15 to $25 shipped for the set. So it's not an expensive set of pickups. Nothing here is shocking or bad. It's all in line with what you expect to see in a guitar in this budget price point. The output jack is the same. Let's take a look at that. You can see very inexpensive and nothing super crazy. Everything seems fine. So let's go ahead and go through the guitar real quick. We're running a Line 6 Catalyst with mic'd up with an SM57, and I have a room mic, and so you'll hear what I hear. And we're going to start with a neck pickup, and all the tone and volume controls are full forward. Now the tremolo's staying in tune. It's working great. I'm just going to leave it alone. Okay, let's go to the middle pickup. Now we're going to be the bridge and the middle. Okay, let's go to the bridge. Go ahead and switch it over to some overdrive. Okay, so a couple thoughts that are important. First, the fret sprout is something that has to be addressed. In the grand scheme of things to worry about, if you are handy with doing some guitar work, I think there's nothing that I found in this guitar that would concern you. You would get this guitar, you'd put in an hour or 2 hours of your time, and you would have a fantastic playing guitar for $100. However, if you're a beginner and you're looking at this brand for the first time, I want you to be aware that the bills to fix just these minor things on these guitars can run easily the cost or double the cost of the guitar depending on where you live, and so you want to consider that. And this is also something else I know somebody's going to ask, is it top heavy? It's a little top heavy, just a little bit, because the body is so light. So you can see it's not that bad. It balances in the lap fine. With a strap, it was even probably a little better, but still a little bit of a dive, just a little bit, because like I said, this body is so light. So I don't feel I have to support it with my hand at all times, but just be aware that if you're not holding it, it can take a nosedive on you. Other than those things, you can't buy pickups for the price of this guitar. You can't even buy most of the components aftermarket. For the price of this guitar. The fret wire alone could cost, just for the fret wire, $30. I'll put a link once there is a link to their Amazon website. Otherwise, until the next time, know your gear.